easy go.
What's up, ArmydogNation? It's your boy Armydog, and today's video is the top 5 ways to get better at Blackout Black Ops 4. As always, leave a like, follow, and subscribe for future content. What's up, guys? It's your boy Armydog, and today we got that video of top 5 ways to get better at Blackout. I get there's probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos out there that are explaining the exact same thing or the exact same tips, but guys, even to this day, with the game being almost 2 years old, I find still new players to the game that have never gotten a dub, have never maybe even played a battle royale game. So these tricks and tips are for you. And maybe a quick refresher for those guys that are veterans and played this game since day one. So we'll hop right into it with step 1. Step 1, guys, is going to be play your game style. And what I mean by this is, if you're a passive player, don't try to rush everything. If you're someone new that's kind of never played a battle royale game, or maybe not even played a Call of Duty game and not sure how the guns work or how to maneuver across the map or whatever the case may be, play your style, guys. And this also kind of goes in with what gun you're using. If you're somebody that is a hard charger and you like to get up close and personal, you're probably going to want a submachine gun with an AR or something along those lines. If you're a camper, you're probably going to want to sit with an AR or a LMG. Or if you're kind of that person that's in between, like I am, you kind of like to sit back with a sniper rifle, but also have that submachine gun to kind of get into that, close quarters combat that, you might gonna get into 9 times out of 10 during a Blackout match. So step 1, guys, is definitely play your style. If you're not somebody that is a hard charger, you're probably not gonna have a whole lot of use for a submachine gun. If you're somebody that wants to camp, you might want something to kind of play that style, if you know what I mean. So that's step 1, guys, is play your style, whether you're picking your weapons and knowing if you're good enough to push that guy that you'd probably just seen take out 6 people. If you think you're that badass and you can take on that guy, well, go for it. I believe in you. You could do it. But if you're like, nah, man, that guy's good, back off. Fight him another day. Maybe you'll get lucky and he'll get taken out by somebody else. You never know. So that's step 1, guys. And here's step 2. Alright, guys, step 2 is going to be your perks. Perks are all over the map, and you can find them almost anywhere you walk into. So we're going to give you my favorite top 5 perks, and probably the last 2 that I personally will never pick up. Starting off with number 1 is going to be Dead Silence. For obvious reason, guys, Dead Silence is a wonderful perk to have. You can sneak up on somebody unexpected and take them out, and maybe they're even a Master Siege that have been playing this game and are really good, and you got the drop on them, so you're able to take them out. Guess what? That's one less great player to worry about later on in the game. So Dead Silence, for obvious reasons, can definitely help you out in the cities or almost anywhere in the map, honestly. Number 2 is going to be your Paranoia. For obvious reasons, guys, Paranoia is a wonderful perk. When you're being aimed at, it tells you which direction they're being aimed at. Not necessarily, hey, you're being aimed at from the east, north, west, or south, but it'll give you a little whisper in your headphones, and you'll kind of, with common knowledge, be able to know where they're aiming at you and be able to find that cover and maybe engage in that conflict a little bit better. So Paranoia is obviously a great perk to use, especially in later games when you have no idea where those people are and you really want to know. And your third perk is going to be Consumer, guys. Consumer is great in a pinch. You never know when you're going to need it, and you never know when you're going to fight somebody that's way better than you and they're just lighting you up. But if you have that extra trauma, having that Consumer can pop that trauma, and half the time it takes you to normally pop it. And you're back into the fight with full health, even more health than full health. And you might actually be able to get the drop on you, because in my experience, when I knock somebody, or not knock somebody, but put a lot of damage into somebody, I'm going to push them right away because either not expecting it or they're not running Consumer, and, well, guess what? They're going to be still at low health for the most part, and not ready for me to push up on them. But if you have that consumer, you could pop that trauma, and if I'm trying to fight you at full health and I'm at 150 or 200, you have that drop on me, and you can definitely get that match or that battle over me and kind of walk away with that win. Alright, so the next perk is going to be mobility, guys. Mobility is a wonderful perk to have, and it can come in handy in most case scenarios. Obviously, it lets you vault over walls and through windows a lot faster than normal. And it also, if you guys didn't know, lets you take no fall damage. So if you're on top of construction, you're running around, and maybe you're getting lit up or something, and you want to get out quick, fast, in a hurry, and you jump off construction, but oh no, your chute does not open, because we've all been there, guys. I can't tell you, I've probably fallen off construction more times than I would rather admit, and it happens, guys. It's not a skill-based thing, it's just bad luck. But if you're running that mobility, guess what? You hit that ground, and boom, nothing. You can keep going, and no damage is taken from you, and you can go about your merry way and maybe even get that dub. So mobility is definitely a big one. And the last perk that I say pick up that would help you is going to be your reinforced. I can't tell you how many times, and I definitely hate doing this, I've gotten second place in a game because I got flashbangs, and well, there's nothing you can do when you're at flashbang. They're going to push you right away. They're going to melt you with whatever gun they have. Because you're immobilized, there's nothing you can really do. There's no way to combat that. But that's where you're wrong. You can definitely combat it. Run that reinforced, guys. It definitely takes the damage output of any explosive and flashbangs. So if you're running around, with 3 people left, having that reinforced, or maybe even 2 reinforced, you're pretty much good for the rest of the game. You don't have to worry about fighting flashbang, because when somebody flashbangs you, they're going to push you right away because they're thinking you're immobilized. But in reality, you're not, and you can definitely turn on them, and they're not expecting it. So definitely pick up that reinforced. Now to the bottom 2 that I would just never pick up. Number 1 that I would never pick up is Squad Link. It does, for obvious reasons, in solo matches you would never pick up Squad Link because, well, you don't have a squad to even link to. And in duos and quads and even the DLC games, it is probably the most and absolute worst perk to pick up because all it is doing for you is letting you see your teammates through the wall. So, I mean, unless you are a really bad shot and always shoot your teammates, I guess it might be okay for you, but in my opinion, definitely not a perk I would ever pick up. I don't ever see anybody actually use that perk. So, that's my opinion. And then the last perk that I would just never use, some people do, and it has its place in time, is Engineer, guys. I just don't use it. I don't find a use for it. But that's, again, my personal preference. Definitely play to your play style. Maybe it's something that is definitely more beneficial to you than it is me. So, there we go. That's perks. That's step 2. Let's hop into step 3. Step 3, guys, is going to be your health. Health is a very vital thing in the game because obviously if you're going to take damage, you're going to want to get that back to full health and kind of get there pretty quickly. And obviously if you're using the right perks, you could probably get there pretty quickly, right? So it's important to have the right amount of health. Now, when I say right amount of health, I'm not saying walking around with 40 white bandages. There is honestly absolutely no reason to run around with that many white bandages because, well, it's taking up 4 slots. 3 if you want to be exact, because you're taking that 3rd spot. The first spot is your actual health spot, and it doesn't take any room in your book bag. But you're still taking 3 extra spots that you could use for a perk or even better health. Guys, I personally run 10 whites, 5 red medkits, and 1 extra trauma with a trauma on. And that's all if possible. Because I like to spread my health across properly. So, usually when I'm running across the map, I'll have my whites equipped in my medical stash, and then I have my red medkits and my 1 trauma off in secondary, taking those 2 slots. But I still have those 8 slots available in my book bag for perks or equipment or anything else I kind of really want to use or need to get me further into that game. So definitely use the right amount of health that's playable to you. I definitely recommend a balanced act where you're not carrying too many with one thing and taking up too many spots in your health. Now, if your plan is to play the game with Consumer Outlander and sit in the zone at the last zone, you probably want a lot of health. but that's a different tactic for a different time. Alright, we're going to get into step 4, guys. Step 4, guys, is going to be choosing your equipment wisely. Now, what I mean by this, if you're somebody that likes to camp or sit in a building, you're probably going to want to use more of your camping tools. But what I mean by this is you're going to want to use your barricade, your trophy system, your mesh mines, and maybe even extra concussion, because you never know where they're going to come from and you might be able to get the concussion on them. You know, those are good camping tools. But if you're someone that likes to push and be hardcore and get up in their face, you're going to want to run concussions and explosives like grenades and clusters. You definitely can choose and pick or have a variety of them. I definitely recommend having 4 mesh mines, whether you're a camper or non-camper, because people like to drive around in cars and you can definitely take them out as easily with a mesh mine to the car. And, you know, kind of a win-win situation. No more car, you get a free kill. It's a great thing. But a way to combat that is use that trophy system on that car, which blows those mesh mines up. So definitely, if you pick and choose where you want to use those pieces of equipment, and kind of go along with your play style. It all is going to go back to step 1, guys. Your play style is going to determine everything you do in the game. So if your, again, play style is to bum rush everything, you're going to want to use those equipments that kind of allow you to run freely across the map, which I usually run at least 4 mesh mines, a trophy system, to help me, if I'm getting a gunfight, I can throw that trophy system down, and they can't really nade me or anything, but I'll pick that up once I'm done with the gunfight and just keep on moving. So definitely use those equipment that you feel is going to help you get further in the game, whether you're a passive or an aggressive player. We're going to go ahead and hop in right away to last step, step 5. Guys, step 5 is going to be how to maneuver across the map. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because this is kind of obvious things, and you move to zone to zone to zone. But run the backside of that zone, guys. You'll be able to catch those stragglers coming out from the zone and might be able to find better players doing the same thing you are and be able to take them out. One less good player is easier and better chances for a dub for you. And when you're in a city or a town or in a big area, run the outside of that area. And what I mean by running that outside of that area is don't run into the middle of the town and hope to God you're good. No, definitely don't do that. You'll probably die. But if you run the outside, you can kind of get a feel of where those guys might be, and then you can make a better decision on how you want to move. Guys, that is your top 5 tips, and I hope you guys use them and get you guys a dub. Guys, we're going to be streaming on Twitch every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, so come join us on there. I'll put the link in the description, or the links in the description down below, and I hope to see you guys next time. And this is your boy ArmyDog signing out. See you later. Peace.
Tragic fate.